Gaurav, yesterday you broke the news about the big Rafale deal, 26 Rafales. Today we're talking about another news break, which is, many people will say, well, that's an aircraft, this is an engine. But as you and I both know, agreeing to co-build an engine is in many ways much more significant than just buying an aircraft.
Shiv, this is sharing family jewels. This is sharing secrets which no one does. Even when India and America talk about building the GE 414 engines in India, there'll be a section that will be built. But here what India and France are talking about, according to top sources, is co-developing an engine from the ground stage itself, from the drawing board stage. You will have engines that will be developed on paper first.
Yes.
Then you jointly develop an engine. You also work on metallurgy. Metallurgy, as you and Air Marshal Chopra well know, is extremely significant because that is where that's India's Achilles heel at the moment. Especially when you're talking about not using afterburners for speed, for going supersonic. That's where you need heavy. You need metal that will withstand
Yes.
that kind of heat. That heat, that cool. Shiv, it's not just co-developing it, it's co-manufacturing it and then taking it to the next level of co-certification. So you need to have that kind of expertise to be able to certify that that engine is good for use not just by the two of you, but for export to other parts of the world. So this is the level of cooperation that is being envisaged. Future generation, future technology of fighter jet engines, fighter jet where you have your scientists working together in the laboratory, your children studying together in universities, and that is where you take that knowledge all together to the next level. That's the dream that Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the French President Emmanuel Macron hope to realize in the days and years ahead. Like the Indian Space Research Organization did decades ago, they want to do this now with the aviation sector.
Very, very significant. I mean, this is, this goes to the very core of an India-France defense relationship. Air Marshal Chopra, how do you see this? India has tried and tried to build its own fighter aircraft engine for decades together. We do know that this is a very complicated field of research, and therefore, one shouldn't look down upon India's efforts with the Kaveri engine. But the reality is India has not been able to, succeed in building its own engine. In the light of those facts, this is very significant. India and France coming together to build and co-develop an all-new engine for India's most ambitious fighter project, sir.
Absolutely, Shiv. Very happy to be with you on the show. I must tell you that India and France, time-tested friends, strategic partners. French did not, let us down even during our nuclear, tests. They have stuck to us, and we have had the aeroplanes from Tufani Mysteers to Jaguars to Mirage 2000, and now the Rafale. I'm so happy that the Rafale M is likely to be selected. And for the Navy, honestly, if that happens, it will be a good idea that we go for more Rafales and make them in India, and we wrap it up with along the 114 fighters. But the subject you're talking about, AMCA, you already described what is AMCA. AMCA is a fifth generation aircraft. In addition to what you have already said, 360-degree situational awareness, system of systems approach, integral weapons, supersonic cruise, super cruise means without afterburner cruising at supersonic speeds. So AMCA. Now, for India to sit on the high table, global high table, AMCA has to succeed. It's a fifth generation aircraft. The Russians, the Americans, the Chinese already have it. We are the
Absolutely.
fourth largest armed forces. We are the third, soon going to be the third largest economy. AMCA has to succeed. Now, there are many areas where the French can support us, but some critical ones, as you said, the most important is the engine. We have been speaking to Safran for ages initially to help us recover the Kaveri, but we could not manage that. We want our engine. That our
Yes.
engine should be designed by us. It must have the intellectual property should be ours. Nobody else. When even we have gone for the 414 for the LCA Mark II, it is going to, by my personal assessment, it at best will be a transfer of production technology. Because the aircraft engine is already flying, that doesn't require new modifications. It only we need to learn how to make those parts for which we'll get the production drawings. But to make an original engine, the French engineers, they have to sit with us. It's going to cost us a little more. It's worth perhaps paying that money, because ultimately that is the only way for our future engines we will be able to get. As rightly mentioned by Gaurav, that there are critical areas. Metallurgy is one weak area.
Yes.
Single pistol blades we don't make. We need help from outsiders. So there are issues. There are high temperatures, there are high RPMs, there are high altitude you have to bear 9G. The engine has to go through a large number of things, and engine is the most complex system on board the aircraft. Only 30% the cost of the aircraft is in the engine. It's more complex than building a spacecraft. So mastering the engine technology, I think, is going to be a very, very important starting point. Yes.